Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. Videos are going to be a little all over the place for the next couple of days because I do not actually have internet access. So I'm just recording them when I can at current location, and then just as soon as I get a chance, I'll upload them. Thought I'd do a very, very quick one after the FA Cup matches. And more importantly, the draw. And also just talk about my game week 30 team, almost but not quite a lock-in. I've got the 4-5-1 up there at the moment, which is actually the most optimum lineup based on my spreadsheet. However, as I do have to go for upside, and the potential, not the way they've been performing, or potentially it's pretty probable, in fact it's definite, that Thiago and Ekitike will be, in fact I have changed it on my phone where I do have internet access, into Ekitike, both Ekitike and Thiago starting, Hill dropping to the bench, as well as Iwobi. I just know in my heart and soul that's going to bite me on the arse, and that Hill, ever reliable, is going to probably come in with a nice little solid 6 or 7 pointer, maybe an 8 pointer. A little bit of attacking threat there as well, and similarly, Aldereti's getting back on a bit of form. 4-5-1, as kind of shown as well, I think, in the little draft we did for Caroline, Mrs. Panic, for her team that she's just putting in for the last 8 or 9 game weeks. Just have a bit of practice in readiness, as we've discussed, for next season. It just naturally falls into a 4-5-1. It really does. I feel like I've been going on about it all season, and I moved into it. I was actually moving up the ranks, and then I changed away from it again. Kind of need to do that a wee bit for squad depth going into this chaotic period we're going into, but it's not going to surprise me if this 4-5-1 I've got up there at the moment, but actually looks pretty good. But yeah, you'd question my sanity if I did have Ekitike and Thiago on the bench, and quite frankly, if I was in a better position, I'm in the 600,000 somewhere. If I was in a better position, as in like the top 100k, I would just actually be sticking with the tried and tested, proven. But I'm not. So I've got to go for the upside. So Ekitike and Thiago are in my starting lineup, and so it'll be a 3-4-3. Iwobi will drop to the bench with Hill. So that's kind of how that will pan out. Probably more to the point, I think, with what's happened in the last couple of days is these FA Cup matches. The teams that have gone through, the teams that are knocked out, the definite fixtures that we're going to have now for 34, the teams that look probable that they're going to have a double, 33, 34. And I think it's going to pan out into a fairly even split. I mean, I think we can nothing is certain in football. But you think Arsenal are going to double, Chelsea almost certainly, City, Liverpool. That's the tie that's throwing the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, and you certainly wouldn't want to be picking between West Ham and Leeds. I don't think too many of us are overloaded with West Ham and Leeds assets. Brentford are out now, so that means obviously Man United have now got a fixture. I mean, what does it mean for me? Let's cut to the chase here, guys. I think as I sort of look at the spreadsheet and what could be the projections. Okay, well, Arsenal will almost certainly have a double. I don't have any Chelsea. I've got João Pedro now is very, very, very much on my watch list. And just by the way, just to correct a mistake, and I want to get back to Caroline's team in a few days' time. And again, always remember, Caroline's team is kind of for fun, so she can have a practice, but it will be just interesting to see how it goes along. But she had actually selected João Pedro, and I'd actually made a mistake when I did the spreadsheet for. I'd actually had one of his double-digit hauls and a single-digit haul, so his actual average is actually 9.2, not 7.2. 9.2 average. 9.2. He is beating everyone, hands down. Hands down. 7.2 wasn't awful. 9.2 is even better. Didn't actually affect my prediction for Caroline's team. My overall average Well, the team was right at 70 points. Back to my team. We'll talk about Caroline's in a few days' time. João Pedro, so on my watch list. If I was going to make a transfer this week, I'm not. He said, I'm not. Um, Given the projection that they're going to be doubling, obviously in 33, it would be João Pedro. But given also the amount of fixtures and football that's to come and the injuries and all the things that can happen, I have to be restrained. João Pedro will absolutely, certainly be coming if he's fit and rearing and still got his minutes are good, which looks highly probable. Would almost certainly be coming in, in game week 33, maybe 32. But I think the way these cup fixtures are panning out, I think it's probable that my strategy, that I am going to lock in a strategy, which probably will be free hitting in 34. Just the way this is panning out, it looks like I'm going to have, in theory, quite a decent amount of doublers. So we'll just take that sort of, 4 transfers to get a full 11 out, provided I roll those transfers and provided there is not a spate of injuries with all this football going on. Let's say it's a locked-in strategy. It could change. Of course it could. This game is very, very tumultuous at the moment, isn't it? Things that we haven't really spoken about with those doubles. What's an example? Who's got PSV? There's a chance if some of the English teams get knocked out early in Europe that they don't double still. Who was it? I think it was Andy was talking about it this morning, because I was just almost taking it as written. Yeah, okay, this is looking solid, and everyone was saying, yeah, these are likely to be the projected doubles, and I think it was Andy was the only one that actually talked about the European matches, and that could again create a further twist in the tail. So for me, it's just got to roll. Just keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully the 11 that I've got that don't look bad at all. On paper, I've said that many times this season. That they do go well for me. I need some big weeks to have any chance whatsoever of cracking that 100k and coming from about 650k. I need some big weeks. That's pure and simple. But maybe if I just keep a steady head amongst this chaos that is about to unfold, just roll those transfers, get a solid 11 out, good free hit in 34, hopefully maybe have a couple of transfers, because that's the other thing with doing with that double game week 33 and free hitting 34. There's going to be a lot of players that I'm going to want to carry forward, and using transfers in blank 34 would not be the best strategy for that, because I would have to be having to get rid of I guess maybe some Arsenal, some City, etc. Now City in particular, if and it's a big if, they're projected to beat them. I'm not so certain myself. City are projected to beat Liverpool. If they do, then we will very, very likely have another double in 36. So those City assets then start to become really, really valuable again. Thus, as much as I would really like to get rid of Haaland, yeah, it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma, isn't it? It's a dilemma. If he does suddenly start going off again, who the hell knows? A move to João Pedro, as you can see, I've got him on the watch list there, right at the bottom. A move to João Pedro, going early. I could take that punt. I can get from Thiago. I've got enough money in the bank to go from Thiago to João Pedro fairly comfortably, with I think Lee still leave me 0.7 left. Ekatike, easy enough. I could move Haaland out, get João Pedro, bring Salah in. I know a lot of people are looking at that sort of move. Not for me. Steady Des. You don't see him too often. It's a definite roll from me, unless there's some chaos in these European matches, injuries, etc. But it's a definitive role for me, I think, at this point. I think we need more information. I was hoping a little bit of clarity would come from these cup matches. I don't think it really has, because I think my doubles and blanks, I think they're going to fall about 50-50 the way this is projecting out at the moment, which would lead me to think, yeah, transfers for 33, get the full 11 out, get in a João Pedro, maybe another Chelsea asset, maybe another Arsenal asset. Arsenal do have it's not a bad run out to the end of the season. I'll be looking to wrap that league up. Saka's averages are back up where I've always said they'll sort of land at about that 6 or 7. He's been pretty solid the last 5 game weeks. There'll be much to think about in the coming days, weeks, and last month or two. Take care, have fun, play your own game, don't panic. Back in a few days' time with a quick update on Mrs. Panic's team and my final lock-in, and hopefully I'll be properly online then, but I'll get this one uploaded as soon as I find a pub. See you soon. Bye-bye.